Hi, today I want to expose a myth of the seasoned skillet, the seasoned cast iron skillet. This is a cast iron skillet. What's great about cast iron is that we need iron in our diet, and many people will say, oh gee, if you cook in cast iron you're going to get a little bit of that iron. Well, that's good. So cast iron is good. It distributes heat very well. It's extremely inexpensive. So this is just a terrific tool, but there's been one problem with cast iron, and that is things sticking to it. And so people will tell you, oh well, you cook in your thing and you don't wash it. You simply wipe it out and keep it clean and hang it up and keep it seasoned. It'll stay more or less non-stick. Well, I want to tell you that somehow along the way I learned that that's a myth, and because I figured out how to make it so non-stick, it's hard to get the little spatula underneath because the things that are on top will just slide almost frictionlessly, and I discovered this just by chance. So I want to explain to you what I did. So first of all, what I did is I washed the pan. I took it under soap and water and I scrubbed it out and I cleaned it up, and then the trick is to put it on the stove to heat it up and get all of the thing completely dry. But I want to warn you that when you do that and get it completely dry, you do want to towel dry it first, because if you put it on the stove and it's not, all the water is not out of it, it will instantly rust. So you want to dry it first. So what I do is I wash it and then I let it drip for a couple of seconds. Then I take a paper towel and I wipe the inside out of the skillet first, and then I wipe the excess water off the bottom, throw it on a burner, and throw it on for about 3 minutes on high on a gas burner. An electric, if it's cold, you start it up maybe 4 minutes. Set your timer and just let it heat for that period of time. If it's electric stove, obviously you'd want to move it to a cold burner for the next step. On a gas stove, you just turn the burner off. But you want to set it on a few minutes to get all of the water to be completely and utterly evaporated. You want that thing stone dry and hot, and there's a reason for that. Now, I could be wrong about my theory, but because empirically, in practice, what I do works, my theory might be right. The way I look at it is this stuff is somewhat porous. So what I do is I take olive oil. After it's heated, I heat it up first, make sure it's stone dry and hot. So hot you do not want to touch the thing. So then you stick your olive oil and you put a little bit of olive oil inside the pan, and take another paper towel and wipe the olive oil all around the outside of the pan when it's hot. You don't want the heat on it when you're doing that. You want to turn the heat back off. The skillet's already hot. You wipe all of inside around with the olive oil. Sometimes I'll touch a little bit of the rim here with the olive oil as well, but forget the outside. Don't touch that with olive oil. It's completely unnecessary. You just want to do the inside of the pan. And then let it sit for a little bit. Wipe off any excess olive oil, or if you got just the right amount, it doesn't matter. In a sense, you're done. That's it. Your pan is instantly seasoned. The next time you cook, you want to cook with butter. And the next time you cook, you want to add butter. Now, the reason I think the olive oil thing works on a stone dry pan is I think of the iron as porous, and the oil goes into the pores. Then when you put the butter, you've got kind of what I would think in my terms is two immiscible oils. Is there such a thing? So you've got butter over olive oil. If you do this instantly, like let's say I'm going to cook eggs. If I put this heat, wash the pan out, dry the pan, put it over the heat for 4 minutes, stick the olive oil in, rub the olive oil around, let it sit for another minute. Then I put butter in and cook the eggs right away. They'll be so non-stick, it'll be hard to get the spatula underneath. They will literally slide across the frictionless surface. So it works even in real time the first time you cook after washing. This technique works. So there you have it. There's how to make a non-stick pan. And what I do after I cook my eggs and I'm done with it, then I will wipe out the pan and not wash it again until I feel like, well, I've cooked something in there that, I'd rather wash it. And so you never have to worry about washing your cast iron skillet again. Go ahead and wash your cast iron skillet, but now you know how to make it non-stick. I hope I've helped some people to be able to do this. I should do this whole thing over again and explain it all in 20 seconds. But I wanted to impress upon you that this really works, and never again will you have to worry about the myth of the seasoned cast iron skillet. Thank you very much. Goodbye.